Hey guys, Buff Game back today, bringing a video for our Warzone weapons, and today we're covering the FN SCAR 17 or the Mark 17. Now, SCAR standing for Special Operations Forces Combat Assault Rifle, and I think this weapon itself, I've covered this in the past, and it fills a very specific niche in Warzone, just like it does in real life. And I think it's a really good weapon, definitely an underrated weapon. If you use it in the way it's really meant to be used. Again, I'd like to see some buffs to this weapon, but again, I like to go back every now and then and use some of these weapons again and show that they can be used and they are viable if you use them correctly. So we'll build this weapon. I'll walk you through a really effective win with this, which is really, in my mind, a perfect example of how you want to use this given the current meta of the AUG and the FFAR. So let's go ahead and we'll back out and we will strip this thing down. You can see the final design here. Really nice looking Mark 17 here, so we'll go ahead and strip this thing down, and we'll take the camouflage off this and build this up. Now, the age-old question is, be sure to comment down below and let me know which is better, here in game, the SCAR or the Odin or the Ash 12. I've really compared those two a lot. I'm going to be doing a direct comparison here eventually. I always go back and forth between the two, and I still think the SCAR is a better weapon than the Odin in game, but let me know down below what you guys think of that. Let's go ahead and build this. For the muzzle, we're going to go ahead and run the monolithic suppressor. So again, standard for Warzone right now, just because of the pros and the lack of really big cons for the monolithic suppressor. Sound suppression, damage at range. It is going to slow down our ADS speed and our aim walking steadiness. However, we're not too concerned about that given the role that this weapon is going to be filling. And this will also keep us off the minimap. Hopefully in the future, I'd like to see some changes made where maybe it'd be more viable to run something like a compensator or a muzzle brake and you wouldn't show up on the radar. But right now it's not the case, so we're going to be running the monolithic suppressor. Now, barrel option here, we're going to want the 20-inch barrel here for the SCAR. Again, this is the longest barrel available. You're going to get the damage at range, the bullet velocity, and the recoil control as part of this. And the cons are going to be the aim down sight speed and the movement speed. Now, just to note, you do get the same pros and cons with the 17.2 inch. However, you can see the difference. You're going to save on the mobility with the 17 inch, but you're getting a lot better range and accuracy and control with the 20 inch versus the 17. However, they do have the same pros and cons. The 20 inch is just overall a better barrel. So you can go with this standard barrel here. Again, the cons of this are only the ADS speed and the movement speed, so you're getting that with both. The standard barrel looks really aesthetically pleasing. I've used this a lot in the past. However, for this build, we're going to be using, you have the Fugitive, the Trader, and the Blank Stare. So the Blank Stare and the Trader are the two blueprints that give you that Midwest Industries custom M-Lock handguard here. So we're going to go ahead and run the Trader blueprint. This is a really nice, or excuse me, it's not an M-Lock, but it is a Midwest Industries. It's a different handguard that goes on this weapon. It looks very nice. And again, I've covered this in the past. Very nice looking handguard for this weapon. Really just extends. You can see the handguard is just going to extend past the gas block there. In real life, I believe the iron sights would actually be fitted on top of the gas block right there in that little groove that you can see where the original handguard ends and the additional handguard from Midwest Industries picks up is where the iron sights would flip up in there. Or you could even put a laser in there too, one of the two. But we'll go ahead and select that, our Midwest Industries custom handguard here with the Trader blueprint. Next up is laser. We can skip this. However, if you're running solos, I would definitely throw a tac laser on there. It's going to give you more benefits to run a tac laser. You can get away with a 20-round magazine in solos. So that'll help you with the ADS speed, the aiming stability, the aim walking steadiness. You just got to be careful where and when you're aim down sight because of the laser. It will make you visible to enemies when you're ADSing. But for this particular video, we'll skip on that because we are running in quads. Now the optic, I've gone back and forth with these a lot. The three optics that I keep going back to are going to be either the holographic, the 4x flip, or in this case, for this video, we're going to be using the integral hybrid or the Leopold hammer optic right here. So that'll give us the 3.25 scout optic as well as the top mounted delta point. So we can toggle between the two. Cons are the ADS speed, but you're going to get that with any optic. This optic, again, will help increase our recoil control a little bit. And again, the cons we're taking with the ADS speed, not too much of a concern given how we're going to use this weapon. Next up, we'll go ahead and run we'll skip out on the stock, the perk, and the grip. We're going to run the ammunition. We're going to run the 30-round magazine again, just because this is in quads, so we'll increase our magazine capacity from 20 to 30 of the 7.62 by 51 millimeter NATO. Now, the cons there are going to be the ADS speed and the movement speed overall, so keep that in mind. And then the underbarrel attachment here, a lot of people I see mistakenly run the commando foregrip, and I get that if you're using this weapon, kind of like how you would want to use every other assault rifle in the game, but like I said in the beginning of the video, the SCAR or the Mark 17 fills a very specific niche in Warzone, just as it does in real life, And we're going to want that bipod foregrip. That's going to assist us with the recoil control as well as the crouch and prone recoil control. So if you can make a habit of going crouch or even prone for longer range engagements, this thing's going to be very, very, very accurate and very deadly, as you'll see me use it here in this video. The cons here are going to be the movement speed and the aim down sight speed, but again, we're really not rushing with this. This is our medium to long range AR that we're going to be mounting or going in prone and engaging targets with. So we'll select that, and then this is our final design for the Mark 17 or the SCAR, the Special Operations Forces Combat Assault Rifle from FN Herstal. Now, customization, the camouflage here, we're going to run, I've been really in love with the kill brush lately. As you can tell from some of these videos, I've been running the kill brush on just about every weapon lately. I really love this camouflage. We'll go ahead and put that on there. Gives it a nice aesthetic look to the SCAR. And then for the reticle on this one in the video, you're going to see me running the Apothis, although I have gone back and forth with the Chevron Tactical as well. But the Apothis is nice and clean. You'll see how good that looks here in the gameplay. Easy to get shots on target, especially at full auto. And that is our final design for the FN SCAR 17 or the Mark 17. Now, the Mark 16 would be the 5.56 version, or the SCAR 16 or the SCAR Light, and this being the SCAR Heavy. However, the SCAR Light or the Mark 16 was discontinued and no longer being produced. So the United States military only had a need for the SCAR Heavy or the Mark 17 and 7.62 by 51. But you can see, very, very aesthetically pleasing weapon. We have the magazine release is ambidextrous, or excuse me, the magazine release is only on the left-hand side, but the select fire is ambidextrous, as well as it has a charging handle there on the the left-hand side. You can see that's actually a big operation problem with this weapon, that charging handle there. It's a reciprocating charging handle when you're firing. So in real life, if you're not utilizing a grip and you just have your bare hand on the handguard there, that really gets in the way a lot. That's one of the big flaws of this weapon. However, you can replace that with a third-party product, but this reciprocating charging handle has hit a lot of operators' fingers. It gets in the way if you're trying to mount on objects, and it's hitting things because it's a reciprocating charging handle, and you can't fold it upward. So that's one of the big flaws of this weapon, but really that's really one of the only flaws I've heard about this weapon. Like I said, it fills a very specific niche, and let's go ahead now and I'll show you really how you want to utilize this in Warzone. Now, I would recommend running this with, like I said, since we're using this for medium to long range, run it with something like a close quarters, whether it's an ISO or some sort of SMG, maybe a Vector, just to give you that close quarters reliability, because the SCAR really is not going to help you out in close quarters situations, especially the build that we're using here. So let's go ahead now and we'll jump into this video for the SCAR 17 or the Mark 17 for Warzone. We have a nice, really good kill game here. Again, using the SCAR really how you want to use this and utilizing that bipod foregrip for maximum accuracy. So let's go ahead and we'll jump right into it. So here we go, starting off. Now, we had already landed at this point over to the village past where I just put that mark, and I got killed, had to win Gulag and come back. We had a pretty intense engagement that I died right off the bat at, so I'm not going to include that. But at this point, we were able to get our loadouts. I came back, we got a lot of money right off the bat, and we bought our loadout on the bridge there. Now, here we see this fire in the mini-map, so we know there's a team here. We can hear the fire as well. So we're just going to move in here. And this is a perfect example. You see Kaz is going to push up, and this is a perfect example. I know where he is via the minimap. You can see I'm going to mount this, and just the laser accuracy with that bipod foregrip, especially with the mounting, I'm able to get shots on that guy very, very quickly. And again, just dead accurate. So at this point, he's down. He fell down. Kaz down, and another guy down there. So I'm going to push down and just help clean these dudes up. So he killed one, and I cleaned up my guy. Now, I just took a shot from another person there. Not sure where that was. So we think there's another team down there somewhere by fire. And here, fast forward just a little bit, Kaz makes the call out, so we know there's a guy coming out of fire. And just see here, everyone's taking shots at him, and I'm just going to go prone. And granted, I missed some, this is my first time actually picking up the SCAR in a long time, so I wasn't really used to the bullet velocity yet. But again, you can see how laser accurate it is when you're in prone like that. Now, fast forward again, we had already established ourselves over here at this warehouse, and Dylan and I went and got self-reses and came back to the rest of the team who was holding down this warehouse. And you can see on the map here, there's a king driving around in a car up above us in the hilltop. So what I'm going to try and do is just get up here in a position where I can get eyes on. He's way up in the back hill. I want to be able to go prone with this, which is why I don't go all the way up to the roof, because on the roof you can't mount, and I wouldn't be able to go prone. It's a flaw of that roof is you can't mount on the sides of it, which you'll see is a problem a little later on. But here you can see I'm in prone. I'm able to get shots right on him. We're all shooting at this guy. And again, you can just see there's not any recoil really with the SCAR. And that's a solid, I think, I didn't see the meter range on that, but it was at least around 100 meter kill with the SCAR right there. Granted, we're all shooting, but I'm hitting all those shots very accurately. Now, fast forward again, we have another team pushing in. We've been engaging teams left and right here. You can see some of the marks over to the right, to my right there that we were just engaging. And a team just pulled up here into gas with a car. So you can see these guys running around. And this is where I'm hitting a lot of these shots. I'm hitting them accurately. However, if I could mount here, it would make it so much easier. Unfortunately, you can't mount on these walls, which really, you can see, kind of loses this gunfight for me, or at least we didn't lose a gunfight, but I'm not able to get the downs that I would had I had the extra stability of just mounting this. But again, you can see it hits really hard, and you can see when I hit these guys, they're going to back off in the fight. So good for them for providing cover fire and moving. But again, every time I hit them, you can see they were scrambling and wondering what they're getting hit with, given that large caliber. So fast forward again. Now you notice we lost Gilly here. We started off as a quad. When I killed that king, Gilly kind of he lagged out. He froze up and lagged out, which was unfortunate. So we have a trio here. We're holding down this warehouse. Now you can see that activity going up over by my purple mark. I'm gonna try and clean that guy up, and then I get sniped from a guy that was somehow got on our roof. So Kaz or Dill cleans him up there. I'm gonna get the tap there so I don't burn myself res, and they're gonna be watching the other sides here, the front, the road, just kind of watching our sides, and I'm going to be watching more so up in the hill. I know there's teams up here, and you can see right here on this HVAC unit, I'm able to mount this, which is just so key in this situation.
Down one by Silo.
This guy pushes that body. I'm able to mount, again, and get shots very, very accurately on target. Given all the attachments we have on this weapon, if you're able to mount, go prone or crouch, it's going to be very accurate. So here again, I'm just hammering these guys with these heavy 7.62 by 51mm rounds. And I know there's two behind Silo. There's two over by the bunker side. And then I spot guys up here in the hill as well up by purple. So I'm going to just tap fire here because I can't really see too clearly where they are. And I'm able to down one and get the elimination there as well. So that team's dead. We know there's two left at this point, it looks like. And so they're going to be bunker is what we think. And then I see this guy at Silo. So again, you can see I break him and I down him almost instantly. With probably full plates it seemed like he must have had. And you can see just how heavy the SCAR hits. And here the last guy over by blue. And Dylan just nails the headshot. Solid 7-kill win right there with the SCAR. And again, we lost our fourth, so it was only the three of us. But the weapon itself, again, it fills that niche. You really want to engage at medium to long range and establish yourself with that bipod foregrip. I don't recommend utilizing a commando foregrip and trying to run around like you would with a typical meta type assault rifle. This is definitely a at-range rifle. You can tap fire and go full auto mounting. It's devastating in that role, just exactly how I use it here. So let me know what you guys think down below. Do you like the SCAR in Warzone? What attachments have you used with it? And what do you think is better, the Odin or the SCAR? That's what I really want to know. Do you guys prefer the Odin or the SCAR? Let me know down below. Again, a nice 7-kill win. Unfortunately, Kaz backed out before we could get the full score for the damage output. But again, great weapon. You see how it's used very, very effectively there. Let me know down below what your favorite SCAR build is and what do you think is better for Warzone, the SCAR or the Odin? Let me know down below. Till next time, this is Buffner Gaming with the Mark 17. Buffner Gaming, out.